If you're a beginner, new player, or a parent who isn't 100% sure about all of the Waterpolo rules, this is a perfect video for you. Firstly, we're going to break down in theory in this PowerPoint all of the basic rules, and then later we're going to be watching the one of the games, and I'm going to be putting the examples when we're making the foul, when it's an ejection, and all of the other things. So the first couple minutes will be just the PowerPoint presentation, and then later we're going to have an example of the game, and I will be explaining all of the rules while we go through the game. So firstly, to start with, we have 6 field players and we have 1 goalie. If you are looking at the beginner levels, which are 10U, 12U, 14U, 16U, and 18U, when we have 10U and 12U players, we have 4 players in the field, and then some of the countries are doing 4 or 5 in 12, and then when we have 14U, we have 6 players plus 1 goalie, and then it goes all the way through the professional league. We usually have white caps and dark caps. Game is split into 4 quarters. It's 4 quarters which are 8 minutes long, each of those, in the senior level, and then in the lower levels it goes from 5 minutes to 6, 7, or 8. And there is a shot clock for every offense, which is 30 seconds. And after you shoot and you get the corner, the time restarts and you're getting 20 seconds again. So the 3 golden rules of Waterpolo are those. So those are the most common mistakes that all of the new players are making, and this is kind of the 3 basic mistakes that we can make in Waterpolo. So the first one is don't letting the ball go when the player is attacking us. So whenever the player is trying to make the foul, or whenever the player is pushing, defensive player is pushing the offensive player, if the offensive player doesn't let the ball go, it's not going to be foul. Because if you have the ball on your hand all the time and you just don't let it go, you're showing to the ref, keep the game going, and the ref doesn't call foul on that. So if you want to get the foul, you need to let the ball go. Just move your arm from the ball, show the player is holding you, and you're going to get the foul. The next thing is, I know it's hard to catch the ball with one hand when we're just starting to play, but only goalie can use 2 hands. So when you're in field, you can never catch the ball at the same time with 2 hands. You can pass it from left to right hand or right to left, but if you catch the ball with both of your hands at the same time, it's going to be a called offensive foul. And the third part is when the player doesn't have the ball, you cannot hold them or pull them under because you're probably going to be ejected. So the rule is, yes, when the player has the ball, you can make a foul of them, you can even get an ejection, but when the player doesn't have the ball, usually you're not supposed to be holding them or pulling them under. So now we are speaking about the fouls. We have 3 different types of the fouls. So we're going to start with the ordinary fouls, and those are the ones that are most commonly called in the game. So basically, this is when you have the ball and the player is putting pressure on you, the player is in front of you, you just let the ball go. This is usually where the foul is being called. And after that foul is being called, you're having a free throw, so the player cannot touch you the first couple of seconds. But you need to make a pass or make a pass to yourself between 3 seconds after you get the foul. So basically, when you get the foul, if you're outside of 6 meters, you're also able to shoot. But if you're inside of 6 meters, you need to pass to the other person or to yourself again. So basically, these fouls are also made in a different for different reasons, but we're not going to go into the details. This is just the regular foul. After this foul, if you're outside of 6 meters, you can shoot. If you're inside of 6, you cannot shoot. You just need to pass it to yourself or to someone else. And basically, you have a free throw where the player cannot touch you in the first 3 seconds. As we are moving to the next one, this is ejection or kick out, is something where basically you make some kind of the defensive movement, which causes exclusion, which is that you need to go outside for 20 seconds when the other team has man up or your team has man down. So basically, you're supposed to be in the corner for the 20 seconds, and how those are being called. For example, if the player is going in front of you and you're pulling them from back while they have the ball, you're probably going to be ejected. The next one is the center defenders. Usually, when the ball goes to the set, if the center defender is behind, the set goes into the turn and lets the ball go. Usually, you're going to get the kick out. And whenever the offensive player is closer to your cage and you're a defensive player, and somehow you are pulling them from the back or you're making it harder for them to swim, probably you're going to be ejected. So this is how you are getting the exclusion, which is the second type of the foul. And the third one is the most serious, which is a penalty. By the new rules, whenever the offensive player is one-on-one with the goalie and you are behind, you cannot touch the offensive player's arm from behind. We're going to have an example of that later in the video. But basically, if the offensive player is in front of you and there is no one in their zone except goalie in their line, you cannot touch their hand from behind. You would need to be in front of them in order to stop their arm, but otherwise it's going to be 5 meters. So basically, whenever the offensive player is closer to your goalie than you are, and you're pulling the offensive player from behind, that's going to be a penalty shot if it's closer to the cage. If it's a little bit further from the cage, which is further than 6 meters, that's most likely going to be the ejection. But in another case, it's going to be a penalty foul. And these are the explanations of all of the 3 types of the fouls that we have. And the penalty fouls are being shot from the line of 5 meters. So we have basic positions, which is goalie, you know that, center, which is basically the set, whoever is on 2 meters, and we have parameter players, 2 wings on the side, and 2 of the outside players or drivers who are on the parameter of 6 meters or in the line with the yellow cone. We have different kind of defense. Press defense is when you are being one-on-one with the player, so every defensive player is holding one of the offensive players, so it's a regular 6-on-6. We have drop defense and hold on center, where basically one of the outside players is being in drop, so they're trying to be in between the offensive player and the center. So we are not in this situation covering each of the defenders, they're not covering each of the offensive players, but drop defense is covering the set and at the same time the shooter outside. So this is a differentiation between the press and the drop defense. Now we're going to go through one of the examples of one game where I'll show you the basic rules. So we start with the swim for the ball. It can start either from the middle or from the left or right side, depending on the different tournaments. So now, as you can see here, the dark player is attacking the white player, and the white player let the ball go, and that's why the ref called a foul on it. But now I want you to pay attention, because the white player, is doing a pass to himself, which is allowed. So you don't need to pass to someone else. You can pass it to yourself and continue playing. Look at this. Pass to himself. Yes, there you go. So you just need to pop the ball up and put it back in your hand, and that counts as a pass, and you can continue playing after the foul. So this This is an example of the pass to the set where this could have been called an ejection, but probably because the white player still stayed in front of the dark player, which means that the white player didn't get a chance to turn the dark player and be closer to the goalie than the dark player is. The ejection wasn't called, and also, as you can see, the dark player wasn't pulling the white player. It was just a regular, ordinary foul, even though it was on the drive from the wing to the set. Now when the shot is done, the dark team has 30 seconds to have the offense. As you can see in the positioning, we have two wings, we have the set in the middle, and we have two people on perimeter, and the center defender is the last one to come in. So basically, this is the most common called balance or umbrella, how the Waterpolo offense is set up. So over here we can see the fight between the set and the center defender, where the ejection was called on the set, because here you see that the white player is pulling the dark player down. And as we said, one of the three golden rules, when the player doesn't have the ball, you cannot pull them down, you cannot just be in a hard physical touch with them, otherwise you're going to be ejected, as the white player is right now. And this is called man up for dark team. And as you can see, the white player is going now in the corner and he's being ejected for 20 seconds. So dark team is having the 4-2 positioning for the man up, and basically they're trying now to find that hole where the white team is missing a player. After each goal, we're restarting and going back to the half. And from the half, we are starting the new offense again, new 30 seconds offense. White team has the ball, and now you will see that the wings are going all the way down to 2 meters, and people on perimeter are trying to stay in the line with the yellow cone, which you can see down there. So multiple examples of the regular foul. Another ejection here, which can be explained that number 12 was holding the white player, as he isn't supposed to do that. You cannot hold somebody from reaching the ball. And now white team has a man up. As you can see, it's a different kind of offense, also different kind of defense whenever they have a man up or man down. But the most important part is understanding that your offense is 30 seconds. When you have a man up, you have 20 seconds with one more player in the field, and basic understanding how ejections are earned and what's happening after someone scores, what's happening also when someone cannot reach to the ball, or when somebody is being put under the water, that is ejection as well. So with those details, we will say that we covered the most basic rules of Waterpolo. So if you are a new player, beginner, or if you are just not 100% sure about all of the Waterpolo rules, this will help you get 90% of it, because there are always more details that can be covered in different game situations. But I'm trying to explain you most of the game, because as every game there is a lot of details and a lot of different situations which you can find yourself into and what you can see. But in case that you have any questions or any different things that you would like to discuss about different game situations, feel free to put a comment on it or feel free to email me. I'm very happy to answer any of the questions that you have.